We live in Brooklyn, baby. We live in Brooklyn, baby.
The TSA, we had covered on the show on Sanity Check before some of the egregious things that the TSA have done, and a lot of these guys have criminal records, have scurrilous backgrounds and things like that. Yet they're still allowed to preside over us and dictate how we move throughout airports and so on and so forth. To the point to where it's become a farce. It's become farcical because they're feeling up buxom women. Not that that's a problem, but not when a person. It's not a problem, but in this particular context, it's horrible. Taking off people's prosthetic legs and all sorts of nonsense. I mean, the stories go on and on and on. And this is a situation now to where they're basically like playing musical chairs with people saying, screaming freeze, like literally freeze. So these TSA jerks are able to now just scream at you wherever you happen to be and say freeze like they're police, and then you have to comply. Or so they would lead you to believe. This is all control. That's all this is. But, oh shit, my thing's messing up. But yeah, this is just one of the many adjustments, because I think we covered before, they're trying to do the same nonsense for bus terminals. So if you want to, so it's like, well, I'm not going to fly anymore, because that's what a lot of people say. Well, screw this flying shit. If I don't have to fly, I'm not going to fly. Well, they're planning on doing this in bus stations also, and just random checkpoints between states. So there's almost like there's no peaceful way at getting around this. You see bats to the fucking knees and things like that, bum rushing these people, causing a scene and stuff like that, which will result in bodily harm for these people and most likely arrest for you. But that is something that needs to be done because these people are just ridiculous. So we asked, were you going to say something?
No, I was just going to ask, as of right now, what is the punishment for not freezing?
Well, see, the whole thing is, if you do not freeze, you could be seen as a combative person. Then they can, what you ultimately don't want to have happen to you is to get on a no-fly list. Mm-hmm. You see, you get on a no-fly list, it's, they're treating you basically like you're the ghost of that crash test dummy that they threw in the ocean, Bin Laden. Which you don't want to have happen to you. I mean, he's chilling someplace anyway. But so they're programming you to comply, sort of like the thing that I said with the police before when they say, "Hey, fella, do you have some ID?" Most people naturally think that means to present the ID. Mm-hmm. You see, so this, even though there should be no official reason for repercussions, you are led to believe that if you don't freeze when this guy says freeze or this slob says freeze, you don't, you want to make your flight. So they're conditioning and bending people to accepting this bullshit, and damn your flight. This is unacceptable. But we have like a slight video. Beats, do you have that video? So we're just going to show you this little video. It's going to encompass this and something else also that makes no fucking sense. You'll see for yourself.
Now, more TSA news, as Lee Rockwell recently broke a story of yet another bizarre power trip by the TSA, as a new policy allows them to order travelers to freeze on command. And if you think this bizarre power trip behavior of the TSA couldn't get any crazier, think again. The federal agency is now ordering travelers that they, the ones passing through security, they now have to freeze on command. And we just recently reported yesterday how they're also demanding to test drinks purchased by passengers after they have already gone through the naked x-ray scanners and the grope downs. So even once you go through all that, and let's say you stop at McDonald's, I wouldn't do it, but let's say you do, get a Coke or an iced tea, then the TSA, they want to come test your drink even after you've gone through all that. So this is basically prisoner training. This is a preparatory state to get you used to, people in uniform yelling at you, getting you used to people in uniform filling you up, filling your children. And, the police state is not coming, folks. It's already here. Up next.
There you have it. And if you noticed in the latter part of that small video, they were talking about testing people's beverages. Now, if you've flown recently, you realize that you can't bring liquids through the checkpoints. You know, you have to, if you have any water, if you have anything like that, you have to consume it or throw it in the garbage. You have to go into the, get searched, go through the scanner, do all the rest of that shit, and then you can purchase drinks within the airport. So they're actually talking about taking something that you've purchased within the airport and then taking that and testing it, which to me sounds absolute. Once again, this is just an unnecessary, superfluous step to breaking people the way you would break a wild stallion or something. Because if I've already gone through the scanning system and all the rest of this kind of shit, clearly I don't have anything on me. So if I go crack open a bottle of water that I paid $5 for, for 16-ounce fucking water, I paid $5 for the crap, not even spring water, some Dasani water, which is basically Coca-Cola without the coloring. And now they can take that from you, and when they test it, of course, it's gone. It's not like they reimburse you.
Yeah.
They take you, they jack your shit, test it, and it's gone. Okay, so this is control. This is absolute control, and to me, this is the definition of insanity. Why people are people so afraid and weak with gelatinous spines to where they will continuously allow this shit to happen?
Wow, yes, they are, Dre. If I don't know if that was, if you want an answer to that, but yeah, that's pretty much the case.
Yeah, I mean,
because I sit here and I'm like, listen, if people just said, yo, you know what, fuck this for 1 week.
Yeah.
Everyone, do you understand what would happen to this country?
Yeah, just say enough is enough. I mean, people need to see. There was a film that came out, I believe it was 1976, I believe it was. It was Network. And if you could see that film, it's a great, fantastic film. If you can go, research that film, go on IMDb, Google, whatever, maybe they have it streaming somewhere online. It's called Network. And I'll never forget the movie. Obviously, I was a little kid and I wanted to go see Rocky instead, but my cousin took me to see fucking Network as if I was going to comprehend that. But seeing that now as an adult, that movie was years ahead of its time. And the main catchphrase of the film was he told the guy, said, put down the TV sets. There wasn't an internet or anything like that. Just turn off your TV, turn off the boob tube, go outside, open your window, and scream, "I'm mad as hell, and I'm not going to take it anymore." And that was the whole thing. And the guy ascended to certain fame. And then, I mean, you just have to see the film. It's a very, very, very topical film. And it was made back in 1970. It was made in 1975.
It's damn near scary.
Yeah. It's
how this movie saw into the future, which is our present.
Yeah.
Back in 76.
And think of it. Also, the Ned Beatty character was the guy that controlled all media. Mm-hmm. So sort of like the Rupert Murdoch character. Mm-hmm. And it's just, like you said, it's just absolutely amazing to see something like that. And maybe, that makes it, that's so much more frightening because obviously the creators of that film understood human nature. Mm-hmm. And they could see from mid-1970s where this society was going, which is frightening because it shows you just how predictable this shit is, how they can basically map out how a person is going to respond, or if they can't, they'll bend the person to respond a certain way. And this character was like, you know what? Go against the system. Reclaim your lives. Reclaim your dignity. Reclaim your pride. Reclaim your independence. And say you're mad as hell and you're not going to take it anymore. I mean, and if violence ensues, there was a lot, that's just the way humans operate. Sadly, a lot of times when you want to stand up for yourself, the people that are in power, they're not going to just give it up. They're not going to just hear your cries and your sobs like that poor schmo that was getting his ass beat. They don't care about that. The only thing that they'll care about is, holy shit, these people aren't taking it anymore. And they're bringing physical harm and shit to us. Because this TSA shit is ridiculous. I mean, every time I fly, I'm not going through that microwave, and I've said it before. I don't know what the long-term ramifications of going through that fucking body scanner is. They could be neutering me for something. So I make sure, and I don't wear no drawers. So I make sure my balls is nice and sweaty, and I tell that motherfucker, if you're going to fill me up and treat me like this, I want you to fucking be just as uncomfortable as I am.
Damn straight.
And that's a mild protest, but I want you to feel uncomfortable. I want you to, and I make sure to be swishing my legs back and forth before I even get on that fucking line. So my shit's is extra clammy.
But again, just think about it. Fucking week, just a day, just a day. Okay.
Over there laughing.
No one flies. No one takes the train.
Yeah.
No one goes on a subway.
Shut them down.
No one goes on the bus.
Shut them down.
You're talking about all the way from the grocers to the people who's bringing the food, to the stock markets. You know how much money Wall Street will lose when there's no one to run those trades, and then of course it's Wall Street, so this is going global. So cats are probably going to lose millions of dollars on that one day. You lose a paycheck. I mean, a day of work. A day's wages. These cats are going to lose millions.
Now let me ask you a question. Now that is, obviously, we feel that's a solution. But what do you think it would take in order to make people stand up? Because they're going to have to be shocked out of this hypnosis.
Oh yeah, there's going to be some prominent shit. Someone prominent
has to get
is going to get
up or
fucked
something.
up.
Because there has to be something, something to shock them out of this. Because it's like when people get initiated into this sort of mindset, they become almost institutionalized. It's like, and for example, if you don't know what you're being in this mindset is, try and go outside without your cell phone for one full day. Anyone that has a smartphone, people have the old-fashioned, flip phone, whatever, but anyone that has a smartphone, try to consciously leave your house. If you can do that, that pull is what, it's going to take for these people to snap out of it, because we all, like, no matter where you go, you got your cell phone, you got to have it out, and it's become part of our makeup. These people are trying to make this kind of oppression part of our everyday makeup, to where it's like, that's just the TSA doing that. Oh, that's just the cops doing what they're doing, and they're trying to condition us, just like these devices have conditioned us. You have to have the hottest, the latest.
Just like it's another clear example that no one. When the cops are cruising nice and slow down the street for whatever the fuck they're looking for, criminals, hookers, Dunkin' Donuts, pizza shops, whatever the fuck it is they're looking for, everyone else is slowly driving behind them.
People don't want to pass them.
They're not doing the speed limit. My father used to tell me all the time, don't pass the police. Why? Am I breaking the law by going the speed limit? No. But they instill this fear, this mythical lore that these cats are not to be fucked with in any way, shape, fashion, or form. Now, of course, from segment one, we see that some of these crazy fucks actually believe this shit and that they can do whatever they want. But the majority of it, but again, you people, you have to just.
Oh, wait a second, we got a phone. Hello, hello,
Hello?
hello.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, can.
Hello?
Hey, who's calling, please?
Hello?
Hi, can you hear us?
My name is Catherine.
Who is this?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Oh, okay. So, hi. You would like to say something about the show?
Yeah, well, I just want to say that, it's all very well saying stand up to the TSA, but the second you do, they're going to stop you getting into the country. And as a foreigner, I don't have the option. I have to go through the scanner when they tell me to, and I have to let them check my bag, and they have. Otherwise, they can say, I'm sorry, we can't let you in the country.
Now, that is understandable. I mean, obviously, I know that, but what other recourse do we have as citizens here to prevent this from happening? Now, obviously, having, tourism and everything else, the country needs that. It's part of the thriving blood of this country. But still in all, we can't use that as an excuse to allow these people to take away our very freedoms. This country was founded on something that, whether you want to believe it or not, it's supposed to stand for something that, our Constitution. So to me, I understand.
Well, of course not, but it's very different if you're a citizen.
No, yes,
or
absolutely.
If you're a visitor.
You're absolutely right, and we were mainly talking. Well, I know I was talking to the people who reside in this country, who are citizens, who benefit from all the great stuff that happened, but who will suffer first when these cats start getting out of control, or rather continue to get out of control. So you have your own issues that you have to deal with as someone from the outside, but this is for the Americans. This is for the flag wavers. This is for the people who bake apple pie and talk about God bless America and all the rest of that shit, and have no idea,
no concept of what.
The poor old foreigners have no option. I'm sorry. We have to submit to this.
No, and you know what? I mean, it's almost like, my grandmother used to say, in Rome, do as the Romans do. So, I mean, I can understand you having to, and rightly so. If you want to come here, if they say, stand on one leg and spin around in a circle, you have a choice to say, hey, either I'm going to do it or I'm not going to do it. But, we have things that says we don't have to stand on one leg and spin around in a circle. And that's what we're talking about on the show right there. You know, as far as in them taking away every freedom and liberty that we have as citizens, you know, to just travel within our own country. Because, I mean, if I went to another
Yep.
country and they told me to do something that obviously wasn't something that I was used to, I have to do it. You know, I have to do it or else I'm not going to go into these people's country. So, you know, but from
So
your...
you say there's one rule for you and one rule for the foreigners?
There's one
So
rule
there's
for
one
us
rule
and one rule
for
for the
you and
foreigners.
one rule for the foreigners?
well, see, I can only fight one battle at a time, and I'm not saying that there necessarily should be one rule for us and the foreigners, but I'm saying as far as in what's happening here, if we evoke the change here, then it should affect the foreigners because all of this stuff is post 9/11 bullshit, and that was all a bunch of crock of crap anyway. So we're both suffering, but just. It sounds messed up, but we have to deal with it at home first before we deal with any place else. And that's this. This is a home-related problem. Now, I'm sorry that someone else has to deal with the shit, but we have to fix this from within first and foremost, and it hopefully will spread outward. I mean, that's the way. That's how I see it, at least.
Well, anyway, thank you so much for your call. We do have to take a break. Feel free to call back.
Wait a second. You sound real funny.
Yeah, right.
All right.
Anyway,
yeah.
thanks again, and we will be taking a break. We'll be back hopefully with more callers.
All right. Take care.
Okay.
We're trying to